because I was a spoilt child. I must be honest with everyone. I was a spoilt child. And at my paternal mum's behest, we had gone to a local church thing. I was very, very young, but I remember it quite vividly. And I saw this teddy bear, which had been handmade by one of the ladies of the local Women's Institute. And I said, I want it, I want it, I want it. And I never got it, not on the day anyway. And about 3 or 4 days later, I discovered that my grandma had actually bought it off the lady because it hadn't sold at the fete for 14 old shillings, which I don't know what that equates to now in decimalisation. And I had that teddy right up until the poor thing fell apart when I was about 14 or 15. My constant comfort and friend.
Well, that was it anyway. Describe it in more detail. It was hand knitted.
It was. Yes, it was. I don't think it was knitted. I think it was stuffed fabric of some sort, but it was furry, a bit like that Borg fabric stuff, which was quite modern in those days.
How big was it?
About that big. He was white.
That looks like about 18 inches to me, maybe even more, 20 inches. That's quite a big bear.
It was, for a little one, it was a big bear, but I mean, it was almost like having a brother.
Because it must have been about the same size as you.
Well, yes, I mean, I think I was a bit taller than that. But he was brilliant white, with lovely, those sort of amber eyes with black pupils, and he had a little button nose here like that, and a little smile there, and his paws were, sewn on, I think, stitched on, but I remember him very well, and he never had a name. And because I sucked my thumb, this one, until I was 8, he was there with me sucking my thumb, and I think I probably grew out of childish things about 8, but I actually stopped sucking my thumb, but my teddy still stayed with me until, unfortunately, with all the wear and tear of me being a young, rather industriously vibrant and energetic young person, that I don't think it could have survived more than probably the age of 14. When I was 14, so it had been 1974, I think that he finally had to go, unfortunately, into the bin.
He went into the bin?
Yes, because he just couldn't be repaired. We did also have a dog that didn't, Petra, who didn't do much help, I can tell you, because she would pick it up and then, what dogs do, that business like that. So it was quite a shocking thing to find him one day in not too many bits. All the stuffing had fallen out.
Oh,
but no, Action Man I did get later, but that was in my teens. And much, much later on, probably when I probably lost Teddy. I probably went down that avenue. I do remember that he only came in one uniform, khaki. But that would have been in the sort of early 70s, mid-70s.
Yes, and that would have been the early Action Man.
Oh, very early.
What sort of games did you play with him?
Strangely enough, probably more, not so much to do with war or anything like that. It probably was more along the science fiction thing, like your Doctor Who's and all that sort of business, because obviously by that time, Doctor Who had UNIT in it, which was an army, United Nations Intelligence Task Force. So I used my Action Men to be UNIT in Doctor Who. And of course we had little Dalek models and things like that. Even ended up making our own 8mm films, because that's how sport I was. I was given a camera to make little films with, which we did, as almost toys, and then turning into a career later in life. They then started, I think, to bring in more uniforms or different things he could wear. I remember it. I mean, I don't think I got one. One ended up, came out with a beard. I don't think I got one of those. And then one had a moving eye.
So you had more than one Action?
Oh, yes.
How many did you have?
I probably 3 or 4, I think. But they all look the same. So they look like clones. But the only way you could tell them apart was by putting a different uniform on them.
Did you have Lego?
Prior to that, we just had the wooden blocks with ABC on it. Yeah. Then, yes, we had Lego. I had Meccano, I remember.
That was around already, wasn't
it? Yeah. Lego, which is comes from Europe, Dutch, I think it is. And they, you got just a box of Lego. You didn't get them as pre-packed. Make this up. You had to make your own up, so you could be quite creative. Of course, most of mine were starships and things like that because I was very much into science fiction.
I'm beginning to pick this up.
Yeah.
You've talked a lot about Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, Star Trek, all that
Yes.
stuff. But I remembered having Lego Meccano. Meccano I don't think I really got on with because Lego looked quite modern to me and Meccano looked quite old-fashioned.